The Sinister Syndicate is the new force to be reckoned with in New York, and for once, it's not actually Spider-Man thereafter, but Peter Parker will have to overcome them in the pages of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 27. Let's hop in. Alrighty then, so picking up from where the last issue left off, the newly reopened Feast Center had come under attack by the Sinister Syndicate, or are they just the Syndicate? They claim they want to be more professional, and no Sinister group ever really accomplished that much in the greater scheme of things. Peter is surprised as anyone to find out that a massive group of his villains have come together for once to not actually hurt Spider-Man, but instead climb the corporate villain ladder themselves and also get even with Fred Myers. Boomerang knows full well he's the only thing standing between these lethal ladies and the unprotected and unprepared Peter and May. He knows he has to buy them some time so they can escape, and he chooses to do so in the most Boomerang way possible by mansplaining supervillainy to all these women. Geez, you're robbing a food bank. That's just really bad planning. The only thing you're gonna steal here is some canned goods. If you're gonna steal food, you should really steal truffles. Have you seen the prices? Now, it's obvious why Electro, who Boomerang is sure to call Electra just for comedy effect, as well as Beetle, want to kill him because, well, they know Fred and he betrayed them. But what's the reason for the other four to want to get involved, besides the obvious killing a dude who's a minor celebrity will, help them and their brand rise in the New York underworld? Well, it should come as no surprise that Boomerang tried and failed to pick up most of these women at the bar with no name. Ooh, geez, he almost kinda deserves it. Peter is able to sneak away, grab his suit, and come back to try and make the save. Even though he and Boomerang are teaming up together for the first time, and it's a glorious moment, they're still outmatched, and moreover than that, the Sinister Syndicate has actually, trained together. They can call audibles, while Spider-Man and Boomerang have not. In fact, they keep bumping into each other and stepping on each other's tactics. Spider-Man even goes as far as to joke, geez, am I fighting more villains here than I thought? Oh, Boomerang does win the fight, but not in the way he expected. One of his sleep Boomerang ends up, doing what it does and knocking Spider-Man out. Surprisingly, the Syndicate chooses not to kill him or even unmask him, saying that Boomerang was always the target and this is a group that's not going to be hung up on vendettas. They're professionals. They set a task and then they complete it. Later, the Bad Girls Club has a lot to celebrate right here. They got Boomerang and now they get to decide how he should die. Why, they even ask Electro what she thinks, which, is an amazing moment for her. What with being a supervillain groupie for so long, now real supervillains are accepting her and asking her opinion. Why, Francine was the one who didn't believe in the group and their goals and only joined them so she could get even with Fred, but now that she's seeing she's actually accepted, why, maybe she was wrong about the Syndicate. Maybe they do really have ideals. And naturally, once you find that out, you also discover that Beetle is secretly planning to screw over the whole team by cutting a backroom deal with the Kingpin. Boomerang had stolen something from Fisk in the previous issue. We're not exactly sure what, but we do know Wilson is lovingly looking at a portrait of his dead wife, Vanessa, so you have to wonder. Now, when Spider-Man eventually comes to, he has to rack his brain to figure out how he's going to track Boomerang down. The Syndicate could be anywhere in the city right now. And judging by the massive hate-on they had for Fred, there's no telling he's going to be alive for that much longer. Luckily, Spider-Man recalls that he had put a tracer on Boomerang back during the events when he was split by the gene accelerator, and because Fred is a filthy pig, naturally he never washed his costume since then. Pete stops back home to grab his spider tracer, only to hear that his other roommate, Randy, is not alone. He's with a woman who turns out to be Beetle. Geez, how many more villains are going to be all up in the place where Peter lives before all of this is over? And so that was Amazing Spider-Man issue number 27, and it should come as no surprise to anyone, I really enjoyed this issue. Nick Spencer is totally back in Superior Foes of Spider-Man mode, and it's just as funny, biting, and irreverent as it's ever been. Fred Myers is such a wonderful sad sack piece of crap, and to see that Spider-Man has come into his life and actually made him try a little harder only to see him get punished again because of his actions as a villain are great. Does it feel like Peter himself is kind of a backseat passenger in this story? Yeah, that's true, but I'm enjoying it too much to care. Overall, I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. Funny stuff.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again. I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and if you did, why not take a closer look at some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, if you're in a supportive mood, why not check out my Patreon page? Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and you can do so for as little as $1 a month. I would really appreciate it, and with that, I will be sure to be back again next time with even more great content that smacks of greatness. Bye-bye, everyone.